Okay, to transform Wild Rider from his robot mode into his vehicle alt mode, first remove all the accessories. So open up his fingers and remove the gun and put it to the side. And then his hand, you want to fold it up into a fist because that is part of the transformation. And then make sure you do it on both sides. And after you do that, now we want to start to straighten out all the limbs to get it all ready to be transformed. And actually it's good to kind of spread his arms out, get his legs out at an A stance to make it a little easier. And then after that, let's come up so we get a better view. Lift his arms up on both sides, and then on the back there is this little panel piece you want to untab. And then you want to rotate his arm from the bicep 180 so that now you could rotate this tire fender piece over to the top. And then after you do that, you need to rotate the arm from the bicep again 180 and then close the tab. And then come here to the side. Now you want to push the forearm up into the shoulder. And that's pretty easy, it just tabs right in. And then bring the arm down like so. So go ahead and do the same on the other side. I'll do it off camera and be right back. So the same thing on this side. You want to untab this piece here, rotate the arm around 180, which will allow you to now rotate this top fender piece of the tire forward. And then you want to rotate back the arm from the bicep 180 and then close that panel back up. And then to the side, you want to push the forearm up into the shoulder and then bring the arm down and make sure the arms stay like at an angle. And then coming to the back, you want to pull back to untab it. And there's the two tabs here that go into the two slots there. And then just open up this panel piece here on the front part of the vehicle and then just lift that up. We'll come back to that near the end. And then now we want to, there's a couple of things here. The side of his chest, first he has these obliques and then he has the side of the chest. So to make things easier, just go ahead and lift up the oblique so that now you can lift up the side of his chest. Here it lifts up at an angle, and then you want to untab it from up here. So I'll just show you. There's the tab that goes into the little slot right there. And bring it up all the way to the front like so. And then that oblique, just bring it back down. And here, so go ahead, do the same on this side. I'll do it off camera and be right back. So same thing, lift up this oblique, which will now allow you to lift up the side of his chest. And then you want to push up to untab it from up here and bring it all the way up to the front, and then bring down the oblique. So now you have this contour cavity shape for his head to go in. And when you bring the head down, you could see it's not going to go in because you need to rotate the head around 180. But then you also need to rotate the panel piece that the head's around 180. So it's a 180 and then a 180. And now that will be able to go all the way down into that contour cavity, and make sure you push it all the way till you hear that snap so that this window can come down. And I'll just point out that the reverse transformation, trying to get this out is really difficult. You know, trying to find a spudger to get it out is really hard. So yeah, I'm sure you probably have a reviewer that will point that out and let you know how to get that out. But anyways, push the head down, make sure it snaps in, and then now we want to come back to his oblique here, and then bring it up, and then you want to rotate it around 180, but turn it inward. Don't turn it outward. It doesn't turn outward. So lift it up, rotate it in and around 180, like so. And then do the same on the other side. You want to lift that up and then rotate it in 180 all the way to the front, like so. And here you need to make sure that you have it properly aligned so that that center armature for this window can come down. This doesn't really like lock in place, so you just have to position this as carefully as you can. And now you could see that it's angled to fit that contour of the window. So that's the correct position. After we got that done, now we can come up here to these top pieces that form the side of his chest. And there's this piece you want to fold down like so on both, all the way like so on both sides. After that, then you want to bring this piece down on both sides, and then you want to lift these up like so. Now after we got the side of his chest folded up, his obliques up and rotated, now we can bring down the front part of the window. And like I said, make sure you have that clearance. Make sure it fits in the window. And then after we got that, now to set things up, we need to rotate his hips around 180. That's probably maybe the first thing you should do so you don't forget. Because, you know, if you don't rotate the hip and then you transform the legs, it's going to be backwards. You have the top of the car here, and then this part is going to be upside down. So this needs to be rotated around 180. And then now we can bring down his arms, and they are going to slide in. But here I'm just going to explain what's happening. So first, let's lift up the center piece here. And there's two parts that's going to slide in. So first, this chest piece is going to slide in, and that's why you need to lift this up. But also on the back, his shoulders here, they're also going to go in. So it's the chest pieces go in, and then the shoulder joints are going to go in. And you could do it like some other reviewers might do, just squeeze really hard. And that will work if you make sure you do it very carefully, because, you know, this sliding piece, it only goes in this way. It doesn't go in like at an angle. So you have to do it very carefully. But I'm going to do it the safe way, which is slide this one and then slide the other side of the chest, so that now these two come together. And then the back, those shoulder joints, before you slide it in, and make sure that these things don't start moving around the side of the obliques. Now here you want to angle in his fist in. Let's get that in a little bit on both sides, so you could see now it's kind of forming like a V shape. And this is the easy part. Now you just kind of squeeze these two and all the way till it goes in. And I'll just point out again, like I said, you know, you could be like some other reviewers. They'll just say, okay, now line this up, and like I said, you might accidentally loosen the screw or go in at the angle incorrectly and stuff like that. Just I'm just saying all of that, taking up your time, just to point out things that's good to know and be aware of. And then here, just straighten back the front part of the vehicle. And then here, now we could push down. And now the front part of the car, this is on a double hinge. So always be aware of double hinges so that you know how to properly manipulate it to make sure it easily comes down, and make sure that it goes down all the way, snaps in place. And then this panel piece on the front, you can see you just close that up, and now we have the front part of the vehicle done. Now we can come down here and work on the lower part of the legs. So now to transform the lower part, let's come to the front. So here's the front of his legs, and you want to untab his knee and bring it down, and then you want to rotate it out to the side. After you do that, you come to the bottom here, and I don't know if you can see, but the window here, it kind of like hooks in. It doesn't really tab in. So what you need to do is you need to bend this plastic in and then lift it up. So I'll show you, bend it in. And this is the kind of tab that you're getting. So you have to bend it in, lift it up. And then the same thing, putting it back, you need to bend it and then push it down until it locks in place. So get that out of the way. And then coming to the bottom of his foot, there's the small heel. You want to fold that up and in. And then there's the larger heel you want to fold up into his foot. And then now we want to take his foot, and there's things to note. It's on a double hinge, but it's also on this slider here. So you need to engage the double hinge and that slider to lift up this foot all the way so that that foot will go over that hinge. And it, look at, see, it's not flat, so you need to engage that slider till it becomes flat, so that now the window can come down. And like I said, you need to bend the plastic of the window in and down, and you need to make sure you get that snapped in place like so. After we got that done, then there's the inner part of the leg, this panel piece. You want to fold that up, and then here, this piece, you want to open it up so we can rotate the inner knee joint. And here you just simply push in here from the back. Hello. And then we get that open. And then now you could you want to take his thigh and rotate it back 2 clicks. And then now we want to start rotating here from that inner knee joint up and over. And I'd say just get it up to about 90 degrees, because now you need to do the same on this side, and I'll do it off camera and be right back. So the same thing on this side, you want to untab his knee, bring it down, and then you want to rotate that out, and then come to the bottom of his foot where that window is, and here you need to bend in and up to get this out. And then his heel here, fold that in, and then the larger heel, fold that up and in to his foot. And then you need to now rotate this foot up and over, engaging the double hinge and that slider till you get it up and over till it's flat here, where now the window can come down on top of it. And then again, you need to bend that window piece in, down, until it snaps in place. After we got that, now we want to open up this piece by coming to the back and pushing your finger through. And then this inner leg, this panel piece, you want to just fold that up. And now we want to take his thigh and then 2 clicks this way. And now we want to rotate this leg from the inner knee joint up about 90 degrees. After we got that done, now we can bring the 2 legs together. You could see they're gonna tab in together. So now you just line that up tab it in, give it a good squeeze, and then now we can fold up this leg up and over. And this is not as simple as just flip this over, because there's a couple of things to note. First of all, you could see, you know, this is straight and this is straight. And normally for this to do this rotation, it needs to be curved here. Obviously, they can't curve it because then that would affect the aesthetics of the vehicle. So here what you need to do is, in order for this to come down, you need to pull back. So as you're bringing this down, you need to pull back. And as you're doing that, you also need to be careful about these tabs will line up here, and also be aware of these. Make sure that these stay open. So again, bring it down, pull back, and just watch out for these pieces. And you have to apply some force to get this down and in. And then this is about how far you'll go. And then now you need to push it down all the way so that these red transparent plastic tabs will be over here on the top where they're going to go into that slot. So now you just push it down like so. And then now to complete it, you need to now push it down and forward, down and forward. So down and forward, make sure those tabs go in there, lined up, and then these top pieces will fold in. And then the last thing is the bottom. Just simply close these up and then fold these up. You could see the tabs go in like so. And then now we have Wild Rider in his alt mode.